All right, action. What's he up to today? Good old buddy Brooks checking in with something a lot of people have trouble with or don't like or sometimes might think of and then it doesn't work out. And that's this foam. This is the other day my nephew and my friend or his friend and I could not get a hammock up because there were no hammocks allowed. It brings about the idea of a versatile kind of ground camping system too that's budget friendly. And the key to any of these systems is always a good insulated pad. I like the mummy shape, but I've just got a basic Klymit laying there. I like these hammocks because you can reach up into that net and kind of position the foam where you want. And when you don't have the pad, I feel like it's a little harder for the foam to hold its position when you get in and stuff because the pad kind of holds it in place. And keep it in mind, this is like the versatile system where you could just as easily go to the ground. Over there, I have your basic integrated sleep system sleeve like Big Agnes or Nemo would be. There's just a hardware store piece of foam. This particular foam came from Laurel Designs, and I kind of cut it to about a, 3 feet wide by 5 foot long shape. I'll get in there. Originally, I thought the shape would go this way, but it works better just tucking that foam up underneath the net. You can see this is just one of those, one of my favorite hammocks. It's a Krazy hammock. I think I gave up maybe $27 off Amazon a number of years ago, but it has like a polyester shell or something that's a little bit warmer. Hard to explain, but like when I'm backpacking in the summer and I use this, lots of times I wouldn't even need an underquilt or anything. There's just something about this fabric and between, even with the net erected, is pretty good. And it's a shoulder season setup, so like if you get where I'm in the upper Midwest now, kind of, and I'm thinking of heading down toward Washington, D.C., U.S., so a ways south, like if you were at the top of China, you'd be heading to the bottom of China type of thing to go camping. Well, at the bottom of China or in Washington, D.C., or wherever further south I go, there might be mosquitoes everywhere, so I can easily flip this hammock the other way, and it's got a little simple shot cord and bug net system. I'll have the tarp going above me and it's snake skins, and I'll just lash that net up. And the other thing is I can climb into this, and I have on the coastal Lake Michigan, I've just put it over me. Like I had my bed just thrown on the ground like that. I just took the hammock as an extra blanket, and I feel like it was so hot I didn't even use my sleeping bag. I just used the whole hammock and mesh and everything as a blanket, and then the mosquitoes couldn't get to me. But there's ways you can just utilize your straps here and lines, and you can set this up like a little bug bivy tent if you feel like it, or you can just climb into it like a little extra shield over your sleeping bag. What I've been practicing a lot is versatility. I happen to be using these toggles and button links a lot, and I really kind of like them. A lot of my hammocks are equipped with these button links, but you can see where you hit a really big tree like that and it's far, far apart. Well, you have some adjustability. Like here I have it, so if I wanted to raise this hammock, I would take the toggle to the Exped slit line and just pull it up a couple notches and maybe button it into one of these loops here. I mean, you could do the same with this button link. I just think it's real easy to an easy way is just to start here and dangle the button link and then erect the hammock and go from there. But you can see how, don't get me wrong, you can use an underquilt too, a bottom quilt or whatever for this setup, but this is more about budget stuff and the capability to go to the ground. And this ground sheet, being it's about a 3 foot wide by 5 foot length, I'll take you over here. The gray ground sheet I have here will really fit a lot of my body, so much that part of it flops out. It looks kind of like this when it's set up, and I can just kneel down on something nice and comfortable, and I can, have something dry to throw my phone or shoes or whatever. It works pretty good for the ground. These, I'll show you these. Before I did this type of stuff, if you don't have the whole net and you don't want to deal with sliding the piece of foam in or whatever, you're just wanting, something a little more warm for your shoulders. You don't have an underquilt, you can get into your hammock like this, and all it is a $11 camping roll like you get at Walmart, or I don't want to just keep overusing Walmart, but anywhere you could buy a $30 Nemo or whatever REI sleep pad and hack it up. But it really works good, and I've got some floppier ones that I can even put in my sleeping bag, but you'd be surprised. I feel like all you really need is one, just probably you're going to be laying a little diagonal. I have two, but back when I used them a lot more, I found that one honestly is, but you could take it and shove one here, shove one here. Really, when you're sleeping, especially with that whole pad sleeve thing, it stays in place pretty good. Like, I just shoved it here, but when I'm getting comfortable, you can see how easy it is. I can kind of work it under the pad. And honestly, for my trip, I brought this stuff because I'm thinking of going down to DC, the capital of the US. And for you guys that don't know, this is like a lot of the cities in the US. I'm not saying they're not safe, but the places I end up thinking of staying in my hammock, I like to be hidden and maybe on the ground, or if I'm in the city, sometimes the safest place is just to be a hobo. Or I'm not trying to use that in a derogatory words. There's this belief that you don't have to have a home. You can go explore different places. And I'm finding, especially when I was in Portland, Oregon, like, just to blend in, it's, for lack of better words, you're better off staying the night downtown where there's police and where the homeless people are supposed to stay, and just blend in. So here I can just take my pad sleeve out. I might even, if I really wanted to get like that, I could take an old military sleep system if I wanted a little extra weight and kind of ragged looking. I don't need my nice looking Nemo over there, but this all works good. I'm, a little on the diagonal. I get a nice foot box. I'm on a 66-inch woman's pad, which I think is about the right length for me. I'm 5'11", 5'10" with the shoe. I think you start getting over 6 feet, you might want a 6-footer pad. But over here, I just have a run-of-the-mill Klymit pad. I like it kind of muddy here. It doesn't matter when you're running these sleeve systems, your pads too much. And you can see I have this nice comfortable fleece here. It's my sweatshirt. It's kind of a nuisance sometimes sliding the pad in. So a sleeping bag is fine. That's why I just kind of left this. If this is all it is, and you're just throwing a quilt or sleeping bag on top of it, fine. All you'd be doing is, when you went to the ground, you would just take that out and you throw that down and throw your sleeping bag on there, and you got a pretty well a lot of your body. Oh, that's another reason I like the sleeve system. Think about it, these super lightweight pads aren't exactly the most durable, so you get in these sleeve systems, you sometimes get, like, that's a whole bathtub floor in that Moonwalk, but I don't know, I'm 50-50. I really don't like the hassle of putting everything in the sleeve. But another thing too is when this is all in the hammock, it kind of stays put. Whereas if you just have your pad and then your sleeping bag, well, I've had a windy day, your sleeping bag blows. But then there's more advantages. Like, you honestly, you know, on those kind of days, you can, you know, flip it the other way and use this whole net. So I really like, these are some of the most affordable hammocks out there. You know, anywhere between like $18 and $50 US money. You just flip them either way. When you want the net engaged, you would just flip it that way and use your, I've got them kind of lashed together, but just draw up your net with your little net system. You know, you can run it to your suspension, you can run it up to your, I run it to my tarp when my tarp is across here. But I won't, I'm at 10 minutes, dang. I won't bore you guys too much longer, but you know, it's budget, it's affordable. I have a Blackbird XCL. I have a, I've been doing this a while now. A Dutch hammock, a Superior Gear hammock, a Grand Trunk, 2 Enos, and you know, out of all that, I've got 2 or 3 of these that just, this is one of my best ones, like I said, because the fabric, it's like this polyester, it's something about it, like those nights where you're just tired and it's kind of summer but it's cooler, but you don't want to set up an underquilt and do all that, you just want to crash in your hammock. For some reason, this thick, it's not really thicker. I mean, it just, I don't know what to say about it. It's a crazy hammock if you ever see them. And then I just got the double-ended Dutch stuff sack, just, you know, collected all right in that sack, and it's got the toggles hanging up. Super light straps have been working good. You know, I've got longer sets of these straps coming, so they wrap the trees a little better and stuff. It's just kind of a, this is a Hammock Gear, really great company. Talked to them on the phone, they called me back right away. Exped slit line you're looking at here, and you know, the end of the slit line kind of gives you all kinds of things you can do. You can lash it back up or wrap it around, make a little clothesline, hang a bird feeder, you know, I don't know, just do some whittling. You guys all take it easy out there and happy hanging.